Hi, and welcome to Tanesha's Tips.
Say it's Tanesha's tip. Coming all three speakers. Good honest reviews, book shows, and the movies all getting featured. They all getting featured. Say it's Tanesha's tip. Coming all three speakers. Good honest reviews, book shows, and the movies all getting featured. Yeah. It's your girl Tanesha, straight magic. The greatest book reviews, let's get at it. She not here to offend, she just honest. Bringing reads that may leave you astonished. And plus she do shows. She cover all like hands, knees, and toes. Don't lollygag, no, she just rolls. Then it's on to the next one, on to a fresh one. Ooh. Ha. Said it's on to the next one, on to a fresh one. Tanesha's tip, coming all three speakers. Good honest reviews, book shows, and the movies all getting featured. Said it's Tanesha's tip, coming all three speakers. Good honest reviews, book shows, and the movies all getting featured. Yeah. Hey. It ain't for the clout, it's honest. See the truth when you look beyond it. Book shows, not to mention movies. She give or take in a great way, you'll see. Check it out, see if you agree. If you vibe, yes, it's meant to be. And baby, you don't even need the script. Learn it all with Tanesha's tips. Tanesha's tip, coming all three speakers. Yeah. Good honest reviews, book shows, and the movies all getting featured.
So I know it's been a long time, and I thought I was going to be able to post and review a lot of stuff. I'm late with every single thing, but I'm going to start off brand new again in October and see where we get. I'm going to start off with my September reads, and that's what this video is about. So I think I read about 12 or 13 books this month, or this past month, I should say, because now we're in October. And I'm just going to give you the names of them. You'll see a picture up here, probably over here, Yeah, this way. Yeah. So, and I'm gonna give you a small snippet of what it's about because some of these books are so good, and I don't want to give it away, but they have good plots to them, and they start off and don't stop, like straight gas through the whole thing. So the first book that I read was called Lemon Pepper, and it's by Nina. And basically, the entire title is Lemon Pepper, Where Love and Grief Meets. So the brief synopsis of this is two people from different sides of town. They basically experience loss of the same magnitude on the same night without knowing. And that's all I'm going to give you. But it's a very good, kind of relatable in a way, book. Next book is When We by Casey Mills. This book is an unlikely coupling between a retired NBA player. I mean, the retirement was kind of involuntarily because he got injured, and his publicist that was hired to clean up his image after he did not take the retirement. I guess he was just kind of having a harder time accepting it, basically. Yeah. And the next book is called Fast by Millie Belazar. Now, y'all, this book was very good, but trigger warning, like trigger warning. Okay. Very good book though, to say the least. It ends really well, but basically the title is what you think it is. You know how when you're growing up somebody say that girl is fast or whatever, so whatever that means to you is the definition of that. And it relates to the book, but then it doesn't, so you will have to read the book in order to find out. But basically it's about a young girl growing up, and she's like, she has all this stuff that happens to her, but in the end it all pans out. Good book. Yeah. The next book I read was on the banned book list, and it's called Heroine, and it's by Mindy McGinnis. This was a good book. Of course, I read it because I wanted to see why I was on the banned book list, and You can tell by the title, Heroine. Basically, what happens is a teenage softball player. Her and her friend were driving in the car, and they're somewhere, I guess, Midwest, where the weather was bad. They get into a car accident, and both are extremely, like, really badly injured. And her whole thing was to get well enough to start training in the spring. Her prescription was written after surgery, and one thing led to another, and now it's an issue, right? So you need to read the book to figure out, like, everything leading up to what ends up happening in the book. The next book I read was Kingston, and it's book 3 of the Summers series by M. Monique. I had read the first 2 books like years ago and never went back to get the 3 and 4, but I wanted to end the series, and it was a good choice to do. Um, this book is basically about I'm going to say he's in his early 30s now, when the book starts. And basically, he had a traumatic upbringing. His mom was killed and his dad went to prison. He was raised by his grandmother, him and his brother. And so once he got older, he actually took on the responsibility of taking care of both of them. Things happen, but they lead to him finding the love of his life. From there, the story evolves. Read the book. Very good book. The next book is another book that's on the banned book list, and it's called Speak, and it's by Lori Howes Anderson. And I actually seen this book. I don't want to say when I was in school, but basically when I used to work at Barnes and Noble, I saw this book a lot, but it never intrigued me to, read it. And I guess that was before it was on the banned book list. Anyway, it was actually a summer reading book. I can remember because people used to come in and, get that book all the time. But basically, this book is about a young girl that's in middle school. She goes to a party with her friends. Some kind of way she goes outside and something happens to her. Everybody kind of faults her because she decides that she's going to call the cops. And in the midst of calling the cops, she didn't say anything. She just lost her voice because her friend was actually yelling at her, like, why are you calling cops, or whatever the case may be, but not knowing what happened to her. She stops talking in the entire school year. So you honestly have to read the book to figure out, like, everything that happened and why it happened. It was a good book, and just kind of goes to show that, people can kind of mute you, and instead of listening to things that happen to you, they kind of make their own story. And that's kind of what was going on. Everybody had their own idea of, well, why she stopped talking, and I'm not going to be her friend anymore, she's weird. That's all I'm gonna give you. Good book. Okay, then I've read Who's That Girl by Eve. Obviously, same Who's That Girl? Y'all know I can't sing. Anyway, it basically was a story about her life and what happened, how it led to her going into the music industry and the things that happened within the industry. It was a really good book. I would recommend reading it. I don't have any qualms about it. She even went into, meeting her husband and having her child. It was good. The next book I read was Divorcing the Devil. This one is by Rose Bush. Now, I was on some book list or book club, kind of recommended this book. Um, it annoyed me. I'm going to say that because for the main character lady to be so smart, she was just dumb, and she just kept going back doing the same stuff over and over again. I just thought, really? Anyway, so anyway, it's about an established lady who got caught up in a love affair with a old washed up R&B artist that thought he was the stuff. You can go read it. It's not very big, but it's annoying. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say. I also read Kim's Lost Words by Jamal T. Millwood. Yes, I bought the pamphlet. I want to see what was in it. They came out and said that it was a lie, but it's some little sprinkles of the truth because we'd already heard some of the stuff before. But it ain't worth the money that it costs. And I heard that everybody was giving it back, but whatever. I kept it. It's whatever. I'm ready for the real tell all. Anyway, that's all. Next book that I read was Excuse Me Why I Ugly Cry. This is by Joya Goffney. Now, this was a really cute book, and I really didn't know it was a young adult book. Kind of weird because um, I don't know. I thought that it was maybe when I first got it, I knew what it was about, but then I, you know, just picked it up and was like, oh, I'm going to read this. Anyway, young adult book about a teenage girl that's in her senior year of high school. She writes in her journal and it ends up getting stolen by her ex best friend. And it just takes you through everything that she does in order to get the journal back and how she's blackmailed and everything. And the truth actually comes out as to what's in the journal. It's a good book. It's a good read. It's cute. Next book that I read was August, and that is the last book in the Summers series. Um, Again, his brother is Kingston. That was a book that I read before, and this one is August. It's by M. Monique, and this book is basically his take on his life and everything that happened growing up. As I said, that his mom was killed, and then his dad went to jail, and he was raised by his grandmother and his older brother Kingston. Basically, it just leaves off basically from where Kingston's left off. It starts where his left off because their stories basically are intertwined, because in Kingston's book you do get introduced to August, so then you'll be able to catch up. Inside this book, it also goes into his relationships with other people. So very good book. I would definitely say read it. The next book that I read was called Vindicated: Confessions of a Video Vixen 10 Years Later by Corinne Steffens. Now, y'all know, I do not recommend y'all read this. This was a waste of time. I want my $14 back, period. Listen, I don't know why this month I was trying to be nosy, but I was trying to be nosy. Anyway, if you want to read about her relationship with Darius McQuarrie, because I really feel like one of the people that she was talking about was him. She was married to him. Anyway, and her tryst, love affair, whatever you want to call it, on and off again, situationship with Lil Wayne and Bow Wow, then go ahead. I want to say this though, I do think that the only person that really told her the truth was Bow Wow, but I digress. Read it if you want to. And the last book that I read is called The Oath. I started this book at the beginning of the month, but then I pushed everything else in front of it. And by 2 days before today, I was like, oh my God, I got to read this before the end of the month. I read this book so quick. Like, when I tell you, it was gas, gas, gas from the beginning. It's a very good book. It's a Why Choose book. So it's a little spicy, okay? But anyway, it's about this lady and her husband has lung cancer. He dies. He actually makes his three best friends sign an oath that when he passes away, they will take care of his wife with whatever she needs. And I mean, whatever she needs. Y'all go pick it up. It's the first book in the series. The next book is The Offer. I probably will pick that up and read it this month here, because I want to see what's going to happen. But I'm a little because that one was a lot. But if you like spice, that's the one. Yep. So that is all the books that I read for the month of September. Tell me what you think. Do you want to read any of them? Have you heard of any of them? Have you already read them? Let me know. And I will see you in the next one. I think the next one will probably be a book haul. And yes, I did buy books. Talk to you later. Bye.
And plus she do shows. She cover all like hands, knees, and toes. Don't lollygag, no, she just rolls. Then the song to the next one, on to a fresh one. Ha. Set it's on to the next one, on to a fresh one. Tanesha's tip, coming all 3 speakers. Good honest reviews, book shows, and the movies all getting featured.